Hi, my name is Michael G, and have another video for you today. And this one is going to demonstrate what's going on in the Middle East right now is really, really ominous and tied to CAIN. So, the enablers of Zionism and fake Israel are not slayed like CAIN. So now, why am I picking this word slayed? Well, if you happen to read the Bible in Genesis, when Yahweh, Jehovah God, was giving the curse unto Cain for slewing Abel, here's what the fear of Cain was in verse 14. Lo, thou hast driven me today from off the face of the ground, and from thy face I am hid. So now, Cain knows that he is hidden from the face of God. And I have been a wanderer, even a trembling one in the earth, and it hath been every one finding me doth slay me. So he is worried about being slain. And Yahweh or Jehovah saith to him, Therefore of any slayer of Cain sevenfold is required. And Jehovah setteth to Cain a token, that none finding him doth slay him. Now, why is this important? The Bible is written in analogous understanding. So Cain not being slayed means that he keeps his identity. And why is that important? And now we're going to get into a concept that is undeniable. When someone is wrong about something, okay, when they're wrong about something or have a wrong belief, I don't care what the belief is. It's not religious, it's not about God. Any belief, anything that you believe, anything that you have a belief or believe in, if it is wrong, well, what happens when that comes before you? You're either going to be corrected and come to truth, and a wise man becomes wiser when you correct him, something similar to that. When you're corrected, or somebody is corrected, when their wrong belief was held, now they have truth. The old understanding has been slayed. Think about that for a second. The old understanding is dead. Now you have a new understanding because you held a wrong belief or wrong understanding. This should send chills up your spine if you totally get it. Cain will not be corrected. Cain's descendants will not be corrected. So what does that mean? Well, by Cain not being corrected, that means that no Jesus. The face of God is hidden from him. No truth. No light. No life. And trembling. Cain was worried about being slayed, but he doesn't understand that when he said that, that means no Jesus, no truth, no light, no life. His wrong belief is not corrected, and now he's going to be not getting a new name when the old understanding dies. So now Jesus confronted Jews in front of him in John 8 and Matthew 23. And in Matthew 23, he charges them with the death of Abel and Zacharias. But that was definitely like a long time before any of those people were alive. But that's why this is so important, because they are not corrected. They are not going to come into the consciousness of truth. Now, what does this have to do with Zionism and fake Israel? Well, Jesus said in John 8 that only those that stay in his word are of Abraham. Abraham's original name was Abrai. Sarai became Sarah. Abrai became Abraham. Saul became Paul. And all the names were changed. And they were changed because now they have a new identity. When we go from the Old Testament to the New Testament, we're passing the Jordan River. Jordan River is a tributary to the Dead Sea. So you could say that the Jordan River is like hell or death. You cross death. So on one side, you have one understanding, and then when you cross over, now you have a new name, new understanding. This is the cross. When you die, the old man, now you could see God. Now you're in the light. You couldn't see God before because you were still under the wrath of God until it was revealed inside of you. Cain and his descendants will remember their name. Cain and the descendants won't even be able to see what they're doing. In the New Testament, Jacob becomes James. And he doesn't know it. Elijah becomes John the Baptist. Jesus is the resurrection, the rising again. So it makes, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, Jesus brings the person forward, changes the name. The Jews are clinging on to the old name. So since they're clinging on to the old name through Zionism, it's fake, they have to create Israel. But not the Israel of God, but the Israel of Cain. Now someone's going to say to me, oh, wait a second. Can't be. All right. Cain had a son. The son of Cain was Enoch. Why Enoch? Enoch, there's also an Enoch in the Old Testament, seventh from Adam, and he did not see death, and he had a testimony that pleased God. The Lord did come and did judgment. The Lord did come, past tense. Enoch's testimony, and now we have another son from Cain named Enoch. We have two Enochs. We have one from Cain and one through Seth and his descendants. Two Enochs. We have two Israels. We have two baskets of fruit. We have two baskets of figs. We know a good tree can't make bad fruit, and a bad tree can't make good fruit. It doesn't work. The Israel of the Jews that remember their name through Zionism, not of God. Because look, it's not even, they can't, they say they're a democracy, they say they're for the Jews, but Jews does not equal Israel. At best, you could say the Jews are either one tribe, one of the 12, 1/12 of Israel, through Judah, and not even through Judah, through Tamar. Judah through the Canaanite woman. That's why they go through the mother. or the tribe of, or the kingdom of Judah. But the kingdom of Judah is not Israel. It's the kingdom of Judah. The blessing goes to Israel, not Judah. And the blessing from Israel went down the line of Joseph. That's the blessing of the nations, Ephraim and Manasseh. So there's a lot of lying going on with fake Israel. No truth. Of course no truth, because they have no Jesus, they have no truth, they have no light, they have no life, and they have no God the Father. No God the Father. Jesus said this to them in John 8. Now I know there's a lot to unpack here, but Cain was not slain. The descendants of Cain, Jesus spoke about them in Matthew 23 when he called the Pharisees and Jews and said that they're responsible. Let's see what else Jesus said. Now we're going to go back to John 8:44. And I've read this many times, and probably everybody can memorize it if they've seen my videos so many times. But we could let's start at 40 for now. Okay. No, let's go further up. All right, so now we're at John 8:39. Let's go a little higher. A little bit higher. 37. 37. I have known that ye are seed of Abraham, but ye seek to kill me, because my word, remember we said about truth, right, hath no place in you. I, that which I have seen with my Father, do speak, and ye therefore that which ye have seen with your father ye do. So one speaks, one does. They answered and said to him, Our father is Abraham. Jesus saith to them, If children of Abraham ye were, the works of Abraham ye were doing. Now, what's going on now in the Middle East? Fake Israel's killing his brother, the Palestinians. Ye were doing. And now ye seek to kill me, a man who hath spoken to you the truth. Now, if you listen to the news, if you listen to the mainstream media, when they talk about the truth of what's going on, the mainstream media is lying just to glorify fake Israel. And why? Because like Judas, which comes from Judah, sacrificed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. They're sacrificing the truth so that they can make a little bit of money. This Abraham did not. Ye do the works of your father. They said therefore to him, We of whoredom have not been born. One Father we have, God. Jesus saith to them, If God were your Father, ye were loving me. So you see, if Jesus is Son of God, King of Israel. And what did the Jews do? They tried to make him out like he was king of the Jews. Then they said that they have no king in front of Caesar, that their king, Caesar's their king. And then they crucified Jesus. They killed the truth. If ye were loving me, for I came forth from God, and am come, for neither have I come of myself, but he sent me. Wherefore do ye not know my speech? Because ye are not able to hear my word. They are not able to hear the word of truth, because there cannot be slayed. Cain can't be slayed. He cannot be corrected. You see, when you're corrected, a part of you must die. That understanding must die. Ye are of a father the devil, and the desires of your father ye will to do. He was a manslayer from the beginning, and in the truth he hath not stood, because there is no truth in him. And when one may speak the falsehood of his own he speaketh, because he is a liar, also his father. Verse 45, And because I say the truth, ye do not believe me. Who of you doth convict me of sin or lies? It's not now we know this word is lies also, some of my other videos. And if I speak the truth, wherefore do ye not believe me? He who is of God, the sayings of God he doth hear. Because of this ye do not hear, because of God ye are not. The Jews, now remember, Jews therefore answered and said to him, do we not say that thou art a Samaritan, and thou hast a demon? Jesus answered, I have not a demon, but I honor my Father, and ye dishonor me. And I do not seek my own glory. There is one who is seeking and is judging. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if one may keep my word, death he may not see to the age. Now, when you keep the word of Jesus of truth, you're not going to see the death to the age, because you've already are sown in with Christ. When you have a wrong belief and you do not stand to be corrected, well, it's very easy to see that. All you have to do is look in the world. You could pick any controversial figure that you want that justifies themselves. Because when they justify the self, what they're doing is they are magnifying the ego, and they are not willing to be humbled to the truth. You see, truth has to be the power. If you are not going to be in truth, then you're going to try and go above the truth. And that's why Cain also rose up. He riseth up and slew Abel. Why Abel? Abel had a good sacrifice, and he had a bad sacrifice. So to glorify himself, he had to kill Abel. You see, by killing Abel, God gave him what he wanted. He doesn't die. But he doesn't realize what he got. Fake Israel today is keeping the name that God is not giving to land anymore. He's giving it inside the body. In the body is the Israel. He's not a real estate agent. Sorry. Sorry to tell you that. But he's not. So the people that keep their name, that justify the evil, I mean, you could see this from far away, that the people that are promoting the genocide of Palestinians, okay? In fact, even Netanyahu said that he's fighting darkness and he's the light and Israel's the light. They're conducting genocide on the Palestinians. This is what fake Israel is doing. And they have to do that, because they have to follow in the footsteps of Cain. They have to kill the truth so that they can magnify themselves. It's not a democracy over there. They don't want to have Palestinians there. They want to get rid of them. And remember Cain's famous words, am I my brother's keeper? That's what he said to Yahweh God, Jehovah God. This is all going to come out soon. When this comes out, this is going to pull out a lot of rugs. So liars are lying to keep their life, because when truth comes to you and you were wrong, the past has to be wiped away, or else you can't go forward. The liar makes up a story so he can keep his lie going and not have to lose face or lose power in his mind. That same thing Cain did. Same thing fake Israel did. And the reason that they are Israel today, fake, is because they are the descendants of Cain. Because if they were the descendants of God, through Jesus, then they'd be speaking the truth. They wouldn't have the news covering for them. They wouldn't. Covering lies. That's what the news is doing. It's covering the lies of Zionism. That's not God. I'm sorry to tell you, that is not God. That's the devil. Jesus said that they do the work of the devil. Lies. They also shapeshift. They talk, now it's over 8,000, 8,000 Palestinians. And if you ask Israel, fake Israel, what are they telling you? Oh yeah, we're bombing apartment buildings with all these people inside to get Hamas. That's a war crime. That's genocide. And the news is trying to cover those lies. This is CAIN. You got to look at what is the undercurrent. When people are lying, they want to either make money from you, or they want to create a false reality. Both of those, the head and the body, in those liars, is trying to maintain their life. They're trying not to die. Now, when I say die, I'm not talking about kill yourself. I'm talking about that a part of us, when we are corrected, has to die. Very rich people are not corrected too easily. Oh no. They surround themselves, rich people surround themselves with yes people. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. And they're saying yes to them because they're enabling the false identity. They're telling the person that you are okay. You are okay. It's really funny, but the enabler to the evil, in this case, fake Israel, look what they're doing. They're sending weapons for Israel to justify itself by killing Palestinians. If they didn't get $4 billion worth of weapons, they would have to sort out their sins with the neighbors. But they don't. They got a blank check from the United States. The United States is enabling, and this goes more into what the Bible talks about Cain, because before Cain killed Abel, when his countenance fell, he said this, and this is really scary. Why hast thou? Okay, so we're Genesis 4:6, and Jehovah Yahweh saith to Cain, why hast thou displeasure, and why hast thou countenance fallen? Is there not, if thou dost well, acceptance? And if thou dost not well, at the opening a sin offering is crouching, and unto thee its desire. This is an enabler to Cain. So if Cain does something wrong, he's going to have an enabler. This is foreshadowing what's going to happen. And thou rulest over it. So in this case, by enabling fake Israel to do this, it's maintaining that they never die. This is the curse that Cain gets by not dying. This is such a horrific curse. That's why when you talk to people about the genocide and Palestinians, it's like falling on deaf ears. It's like cognitive dissonance, like they're aliens. They can't understand. Why can't they process this information? I had this happened to me just yesterday, and it was very disheartening. A friend of mine would put on his Facebook, Greek military with flag next to Israel military, and then joined them together, and he was promoting that. And I said something, and then again he said another team, which shows the flags of all the nations tying with Israel, and the nations tying with Turkey. Now he's Greek. I'm Greek and Armenian. My family, I've lost family members to the Turks, and Greeks and Armenians really don't like Turks. But Turkey is on the right side of history in reference to the Palestinians. They're on the correct side of history. Greece is on the wrong side of history because they are enabling the evil to continue. So, my friend, instead of asking me, or at the time asking me for clarification or going on his own to do due diligence, he says, don't write this on my wall or my Facebook wall. He now is willfully ignorant. He now is in the position of enabling Cain or part of Cain's descendants in the same judgment, bound together for the flames. They are going to be burned. All these people are going to be burned. Unless God pulls them out of the fire, they are destined to be burned. We are witnessing the bundling together of the darnel and the tares. These are the people that they are not going to be slayed. They are not going to be in the death of Christ for us to have a new name. Jacob became James. Elijah became John the Baptist. This gives you a whole different look on how what's happening and unfolding in the nations, and it's in the Bible. That's why the Bible is so true. You can't escape it, because it gives you the blueprint of what the people are doing, the blueprint of why they do what they do. When you are being corrected, you're not being corrected because the person that you're being corrected by has got something on you. You're being corrected because God wants you to have more truth. If you are not corrected, then just like Jesus did not speak to the thief on the left, just like Genesis, and it's probably I'm just going to be able to say this, just like this, the first words of Genesis, in the beginning of God's preparing the heavens and the earth hath existed waste and void, and darkness lies on the face of the deep, like today, and the Spirit of God fluttering on the face of the waters. And God saith, let light be. And light is, and God seeth the light that is good, and God separateth between the light and the darkness. You see, the separation of the darkness and the light and the darkness is what we're seeing today with the separation of the darnel and the wheat. God did not say anything about the darkness, only said about the light. So, just like fake Israel is not going to be corrected, and they are going to kill their brother, and people are going to lie for them, to cover them. And now you see why. God bless.